In last episode, we built a blacksmith for all of our blacksmithing needs, and in today's episode, we are finally going to be building a storage building. And no, we did not finish the interior of the blacksmith in last episode, but I'm going to put that on hold for just a little bit longer. Our storage is not good at all. I've just been starting to stick random things in random places. It's not horrible. It could definitely be worse, but we just need more storage. And then I have random chests everywhere that I've been sticking some other stuff in. We even have even more storage up here, just excess stuff. So long story short, we have to figure out some kind of storage solution. Now I did go ahead and clear out a space for the storage build and then also collected a bunch of materials that we're going to need for the build. And hopefully this is enough space, but if we need to make it bigger, then we can definitely do that. But I wanted the storage build to be located in a place that is easy to access. So I don't want it to be way too far. It's kind of close to our starter house and also just kind of the central area of our base. And also on top of this hill, I think that we will be able to see it from most areas in our base, and I think it'll look really nice. I did want to go through the building process just a little bit more in today's episode than we usually do, though I think there will probably be a mixture of time-lapse and build process. First, I wanted to jump in my creative world and show you the first step in my building process. I find that creative worlds help so much because there's not a lot of risk involved in creative worlds. If you make a mistake, then you don't have to undo all of your hard work. You don't have to grind for materials. You can just kind of place blocks and it's so easy to do so. As you can see here, I have most of the builds that I have in my survival world. They all started here in this creative world. So here's my miner's cottage and then the windmill. Here's a build that I didn't like. And then here's the axolotls that I was trying to build for the Axolotl Fountain. Here is the first rendition of it, and he's so cute. I literally love him so much, but I just don't think he belonged in the survival world. And here we have the original nether portal design that I was going to go for, but I decided against it. Over here is the library, and then this is a build that I decided against building. And then here's the blacksmith, and then here's our starter house right over here. And sometimes I just build the front half of the build instead of building the entire thing, but sometimes I build the entire thing if I need to see how the back of it's going to be or something. This was going to be the storage building, but honestly, I just didn't like it very much, so I decided against it and did something a bit different, which is actually right over there, and I'm trying not to show you it because I don't want to show you the whole thing. This is step 1 in the building process, so anything that you see that I build in the survival world is usually built in here, and honestly, it just helps so much. Now back in the survival world, I can go ahead and start placing some blocks down based off of the build that I built in the creative world with no risk involved, because I already know what I want to do. And of course it's raining now, but whenever I was planning this build, I know I wanted to do something greenhouse-esque. And also I like to build on odds because it makes the roof have kind of a central point in the middle, if that makes sense. So over here in the starter house, the build was built on an odd number of blocks in the front and the sides and everything. So I was able to have that central bit of cobblestone on top. If it's an even, then typically it'll turn out just a little bit more awkward. You can definitely do it for sure. That tower is actually on an even, and I think it turned out pretty good, even though that it's not an odd. But usually, rule of thumb, it's better to start with even counts. At least for me. Of course, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Also, I know that builds look so much better when they have a little bit of depth with them. So I'm going to have a bigger building here, and then off to the side, I'm actually going to go back a little bit just to add a little bit more dimension. If I had one long wall reaching from the very end of the build to this end of the build, then it just would look a little bit off. Also, I'm going to strip all of these spruce logs. And then I'm going to go back a couple of blocks and then build this here. So each side will have a little section kind of hanging off of it. Also, right now on my second monitor, I have the build up that I built in the creative world, so I'm able to reference it. And then from here, I'm just going to go out and sketch out all of the blocks. And these open spaces, I'm going to have windows. And again, everything is on an odd, just because I think it feels a little bit more balanced that way. And now I'm tearing down all of the blocks because I got the dimensions wrong somehow. Just part of the process. Now we have the foundation down, I'm also going to make the entrance stick out a little bit because again, depth is so important to making your builds look good. Just adding little parts coming off of your build or parts going back or forwards or something will really help. So now if you haven't already noticed, I'm going to be building with mangrove because it's 1.19. We have to build with some mangrove. Now I'm going to add kind of these little bits right here. Again, just adding a little bit more depth with the stairs because if I were to just do this instead and have like a block here, a solid block here, then it wouldn't have that little bit that goes in, just to add a little bit something more interesting. So that's why I choose the stairs instead of a solid block. We pretty much have the whole foundation in now, and I just need to raise everything up a bunch of blocks. This is going to be kind of a 2-story build. And again, these little bits coming off the side, they're going to be a little bit shorter just to add a little bit more shape to the build. It's going to be barn-esque in a way, I guess. So we're going to need a lot of glass, probably more than this, and then also a lot of spruce logs. From this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and start on the roof. I think it'll be easier to fill everything in once I get the roof in. And also, do you know something that I just thought about? I made all of these glass blocks into glass panes, but I'm actually going to need some glass blocks for the roof. That is quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate indeed. Okay, let me go get some glass. I know that I want this roof to be a little bit rounded, so I'm going to start off with some staircases and then go into some slabs and just stack them up like this. And then I'm going to go over on the other side and do the same thing. I like to map out the frame of the roof first before I commit to anything. And then if we step back and look, it should be kind of like a cute curve. Yes, just like that. And then that makes it easier for me to kind of fill in the roof from there. And it's raining again. Why is it always raining? I swear. And from this point, the build is pretty much complete. It looks fine like this, but we definitely have a lot of detail work to do in order to make it just like a little bit better. I got plenty of blocks collected and ready to go to detail this build. We're definitely going to need some lanterns. And then I also want to build with a bunch of mangrove trapdoors. And to make planter boxes, I'm going to get some coarse dirt and some of these azalea bushes, and then maybe a couple of poppies. Also, don't underestimate the power of a good button. They definitely add a lot to your build, even though that they're so small. And now to detail. And just those small details really transform this build in my opinion, so don't underestimate the power of just a couple of small things. And just adding those small bits that kind of pop off of the build kind of add a little bit more depth. And again, depth is so important in your builds. For example, imagine if this tower didn't have these little archways over the windows. I think it would still look fine, but honestly, those archways just add so much to it. Or just that little planter box up there. These small details really add up. I do think that I want to continue adding more details to this build, and also the interior is going to play a lot in the exterior because there are a lot of windows, so we'll be able to see in very well. I think I want the floor to be this smooth stone. I usually don't build with this block, but I think I'm going to put it throughout the entire floor, and then I'm going to layer some mossy carpet and some other little things, maybe some dirt laying ground because I really want this to feel like a greenhouse. Unfortunately though, I don't think we have enough of the smooth stone to complete the floor. So I've been cooking up some cobblestone just like early game. I literally have no stone to my name. I have a ton of stone slabs. I don't know why I have so many stone slabs, but I've been having to cook up cobblestone just to make some stone, which is a little bit embarrassing at this point, you know? I feel like I should have plenty of stone. Obviously, this is a storage building and a glass storage building at that. So we're probably going to see a lot of chests from the outside, but in order to kind of reduce the amount of chests that we see outside, I'm going to kind of create some planter boxes in front of some of the windows, just so that the first thing you see whenever you look at this build isn't a bunch of chests. So if we were to look outside now, we see lots of greenery, which I think will look so much better than a bunch of chests, honestly. I want this storage build to hold enough stuff to last us for the rest of the time that I'm in this world. So I'm really hoping that the chests that I put in here are going to be enough. No matter what, I am going to have significantly more space than I usually have. So right now, anything is going to be an upgrade from what I have. And that was a stack of chests, and I only have one more stack. So honestly, I think I'm going to have to get a lot more chests. Here's our first little bit of chests. I think I'll probably put some barrels along here. And then I'm going to put some chests along this wall. Since this is the back, I'm not going to worry too much about seeing a bunch of chests from the outside. I will make one planter box here in the middle though. And then I want to utilize the space up as well. So we'll kind of have a second level. But I guess I should go ahead and place down this little planter box and place lots of azalea leaves. Now I have to decide whether or not I want to place the chests like this or if I want to place them like this. Obviously, placing them like this will provide so much more storage. However, if I do this, but if I place the chest like this, then it's not even with this wall, and that bothers me just slightly. I guess then I could change these to face the other way and then it would be even. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So I could do that instead and then it would be even. Decisions. I just don't want it to feel cramped. I think that's my biggest worry, is that this is only 3 blocks of space, and if I have chests running all the way down, are we going to feel a little bit cramped in here? Let me go ahead and place them the rest of the way down and we'll see. Maybe I'll leave like a little bit of space. This is literally so many chests. So yes, this would probably be the most efficient way to do it. It's just, is this the best looking way to do it, I guess? Because for some reason, I do kind of like the look of the chest just facing forward like this. I don't know. I just kind of like this look. This is very cramped, but this is a storage building, so I don't know. I'm just having a hard time deciding what to do. Also, now it bothers me that they're facing different ways on either side, so I'm going to have to change that. Maybe getting the second level in will help me decide, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to place a ladder in order to maximize space, because it'll be so much better than placing a staircase. And I'm going to kind of have this like hanging ladder thing with the spruce trapdoors. And I'm only going to kind of do this loft situation. I want this to still feel very open, and I want you to be able to see the sky from the bottom floor. Honestly, I think that the chest like this will be fine, and then maybe I can add like a rug or something kind of coming through. I don't know yet. I need to get lots of plants in here. I have some ideas for that, but I think I'm going to do it like this for now. I say for now, but once I do it, I'm not going to change it. You know, I'm not about to just tear everything out once I have fully committed to it. And then this is a lot of spruce. So in order to break the spruce up, I'm going to create kind of a mangrove railing, and I'm going to place it on the outside again, just to maximize space. Because we don't have a ton of space up here, I'm not going to shove the chests like this or anything, because that would feel very cramped. I will have them facing kind of long ways. And honestly, I could continue to stack the chests all the way up if I wanted to and put some here in the middle. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this. And that will kind of be like overflow storage, or storage that I really don't want to access very often, like netherrack or something like that. And now to put some chests over here. I think that I have all of the chests placed in now. I need to make sure that I place some workstation blocks because I think in order to have a good functional storage building, you need an area to do some work. Just your basic crafting table, stone cutter, and maybe some furnaces or something. I definitely have a little bit more detail work to do in the build. And I think one of the things that I would like to do is add a lot of flower pots everywhere. So right up here, we have a lot of open space. It's kind of like this shelf almost. And I went to place a lot of flower pots here and just place a lot of like little flowers in them. Look how cute it looks. I literally love it so much. And I'm going to add the same thing over on this other side. I think this is so fun and it adds such a nice little touch. I'll probably move the stuff from the starter house over to the storage room kind of on my own because I feel like that's a little bit boring. But I just have a couple more things to finish up with the greenhouse. I want to do some terraforming around here, make a pathway, of course, going to it. Move all of the stuff from the starter house to the storage building. I was thinking about adding some leaves kind of coming down from the greenhouse, kind of like we did over here in the tower. You can kind of see it. I think it would add a lot to the build and I need to clean up my mess and do all of that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get busy and go ahead and start doing that. I've officially moved everything from the starter house over to the storage building and decorated the interior a little bit. And then I also did the pathway and just some minor terraforming around. So this pathway goes all the way down here and it connects to this pathway over here by the barn. And we have a cute little staircase going all the way up to the storage building. To be completely honest, I struggle with this storage building so much actually and have been putting it off for a while. But I'm so happy with how it turned out. And I think that it has enough storage space in here to last us for the rest of the time that I'm in this world. But I figured I would give you all a quick tour around the storage building so you can see how I organize everything. I use these signs because I never have any leather to make item frames. And honestly, I think the signs work just fine. But I have wood over here and some other like miscellaneous things. I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense, but you know, it makes sense for me. And then we have workstation blocks and some more interior items, like things like this. Items that you can put inside of a house, I guess, or any kind of build. And over here we have a more plant related section with flowers and saplings and things like that. Over here we have all of the blocks you can mine with a shovel. And then these are mob drops and tools and armor and things like that. Over here we have all of our rocks and ores, and upstairs to the left we have all of the nether goodies like netherrack and other nether blocks. And then over here on this other side, I just have some random miscellaneous blocks I just wasn't sure where else to place. And we have so much extra space. So like I said, I think this will last us for a while. Hopefully forever, honestly. For wood, I just organized it by log type and then by planks and like miscellaneous wood things. Stone, I did stone and cobble, then deep slate, and then all of like the miscellaneous stone blocks. And then we have coal, iron. Yes, this is my last iron ingot. Literally, I don't have any more iron than this. I think we're going to be building an iron farm here soon. And then diamonds and emerald and redstone and lapis, and then some other miscellaneous blocks. I think I was able to make this actually feel like a greenhouse, even though that there are literally so many chests in here. So again, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. And going back over to the starter house, I now have to figure out what I'm going to do with all of this extra space because it is all empty. I emptied every single chest out, even the shulker boxes, every single chest other than the food. And it's honestly sad to say, but I don't think I'm going to be using the starter house that much anymore because I use this mostly for storage. The only thing that we'll do in here is maybe sleep and then maybe cook up some food. But other than that, that's about it. But to wrap up this video, I just wanted to do a couple of smaller projects like we usually do. So we have a new pink axolotl, and we are going to name this new axolotl Pinky. And might as well fly over there because it's so much faster than walking. All right, there's Strawberry and then Pinky. So thank you so much for that name suggestion. We now have 3 pink axolotls. We seriously have to go to a lush cave and get some more axolotls. And now going over to the fishing village. There's the wandering trader. Oh, there's Cliff Boy. I haven't checked on the village in a while, so I want to see what the villagers are doing. Oh, look, we have one in the village. And of course, he's stuck on a bush, but he's in the village. One villager in the village. Wow, that's impressive. And we have him as well on the dock. But other than that, yeah, they're just all swimming. So love that for me. But I did want to try sprinkling some moss and glow lichen around on the dock inside the fishing village. The fishing village is a little bit too clean. You know, if this fishing village had truly been here for a while, it would probably be pretty run down and have lots of plants and things growing all over it. So I'm going to sprinkle bits of moss to kind of represent algae and then also some glow lichen as well. And I'm just going to sprinkle that around a little bit, probably focusing more close to the water. Oh, we have a drown with a trident. Okay, let's see if we can get a trident. That would be so cool. Oh, it's a baby drown with a trident. Oh, I don't have my chest plate on. Okay, wait. Abort mission, put my chest plate on and try again. Eat some carrots and then go back at it. Hello. No, sad day. We did not get a trident. It would have been cool though. Now the village is a little bit more mossified and it has glow lichen everywhere. And I love how you can actually put it on top of things like this. I think that's so cool. And I even put some over here by the dock. So we have plenty of little growth growing all over the fishing village and the dock. Maybe one of these days I will put some stalls like I had originally been thinking about doing. And then if I ever do that, I'll probably just lock the villagers inside the stalls so that they don't wander everywhere and then go in the water. Now that we have the storage building built, I feel like I don't have that many functional projects left to build. We have full netherite armor, full netherite tools. So honestly, I don't think we need to do that many more functional things. So definitely let me know some project ideas that you have for me for upcoming episodes. I definitely want to do bees. I want to explore some ancient cities. I have to build an iron farm because I literally never have any iron. So I definitely have a couple of projects planned, but eventually I feel like I'm going to run out of things to do in this world. But that is about going to do it for today's episode. I hope that you all have a lovely, lovely day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!